The Firefly indicator is a tool designed to help identify trends and possible buy and sell points in the market. Apart from being a clear and easy-to-interpret indicator, it is beautiful. Today, I will tell you all about this indicator, and at the end of this video, you will know how it works, and if you should take it into account in your trading. Let's start. Let's start by adding the indicator. This one is easily found by the name Firefly Oscillator by Lazy Bear. At first glance, it looks like a very minimalistic indicator that doesn't have much to offer, but let's explore its code and see how it is calculated. In step 1, a simple average of the prices is calculated using the highs and lows. In step 2, another moving average of the value obtained from step 1 is calculated. This is to smooth the price series and help identify the trend. In step 3, the standard deviation of the value of the average obtained in step 1 is calculated. This serves to measure the volatility of the market. Step 4 normalizes the value obtained in step 1 by subtracting the moving average from step 2 and dividing it by the standard deviation from step 3. This produces a value that moves around 0. In step 5, a moving average of the normalized value from step 4 is calculated. This smooths the signal to reduce noise and make it easier to interpret. In the last step, the final oscillator is calculated by adjusting and normalizing the value obtained in step 5. This value fluctuates around 50, which is the central reference point of the indicator. Knowing this, now let's look at its practical utility. The indicator tries to maintain a 3D appearance, so that when the market is in a downtrend, we will see the red fill in the middle of the moving averages. But when it is in an uptrend, we will simply not see the fill color. This is also reflected in the histogram bars. Red bars for downtrend and green for uptrend. A good way to use it that I found is the following. First, we identify the relevant zones by marking the crosses of the two averages over the price. This means that the price has turned and we could mark those zones. These zones usually act as supports and resistances, as this is where the price has turned around. In the second step, we should identify the general trend of the price by drawing equidistant channels. Finally, we must wait for the price to touch one of these levels, and for the indicator to make a crossover in favor of the trend. At that moment, we could place a buy or sell order. In other words, we would look to enter in favor of the trend after a pullback, when the price is turning in favor. Let's go again. First, we mark support and resistance zones using the indicator crosses. The price makes a peak where the indicator crosses. This peak is a relevant zone. The more touches that zone has, the more important and stronger is that level. Then we locate one or more equidistant channels to have a better picture of where the price is heading. The inclination of the channel will give us clues of the trend. If it is inclined upwards means that the trend is upward, if it is downward, and if the channel is in a sideways position means that there is no definite trend. After this, we look for the entry in a new crossing of the indicator, but being positioned in a coherent way that the price is or has touched a support level for a buy or a resistance for a sell, and we enter when the indicator makes a crossing in favor of the trend. We can also use this indicator to identify divergences with respect to the price. A divergence is when the price moves to one side and the indicator moves to the opposite side. For example, if the price makes two highs, the second higher than the first, but the indicator shows that the second peak is lower than the first, it means that the price rose, but the momentum is much lower than in the previous maximum, which could be announcing a fall, therefore it would be better to look for placing sell orders, provided that the other steps are completed. In the indicator parameters, we find that we can activate an option to apply Bollinger Bands to the indicator. With this, we can see when the price is overbought if the indicator is touching the upper band, or oversold if the indicator is touching the lower band. In summary, with this indicator, we can clearly identify support and resistance levels, divergences, and know when the price is overbought or oversold, resulting in a decent enough combo tool to find opportunities in the markets.